Cool. Yeah, and you want to take off? So first, guys, just a quick intro from me. My name's Steve, obviously from Global. Thanks very much, John, for joining us and make yourself available for this training. Obviously, that's what we do, support agencies. Leanne's been spearheading this webinar, John, and setting things up. I think, Leanne, maybe you just want to run us through sort of what the plan is and the running order, because this is a three parts, part one of a three-part session, right? But Leanne,
Yes. Yeah, so three-part series, guys. This is the first session. Next week, same time, second session, then the following week is the third session. If you can't make it to any of those, there are replays available, so you can catch up on the replays. And throughout the week between each session, we'll also be sending some action points and things for you to work on to really achieve the results and get the most out of the series here. So thanks for joining us and being part of this. I'm really excited to get going today and get everybody some real results. So John, I will hand it over to you.
Okay, let me just welcome everybody. I've got a lot of friends and family in here, so I appreciate all my supporters who have come along, and those who don't know me, I'll give you a very, very, very brief 30-second tour about who I am and what I'm all about. But more importantly, one of the reasons why we're collaborating with Global is, at the end of the day, as an agency owner or somebody who's providing services, marketing service to the marketplace, you want to be very consistent at engaging and bringing on clients, and not just any client, but I believe the right client. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that as we go through. Leanne mentioned that this is a three-part series. This is going to be a little bit different to most types of training, so I just want to very quickly explain what that is. So the first part of this is that each week we're going to do a key training. Today, we are actually going to go and generate clients today. So today we're going to get some customers. So I'm going to explain how you're going to do that, what you're going to do to make that a reality. This will be real-time training. Leanne mentioned that in between these trainings, we're going to be providing, or I'm going to be providing you with resources. I've actually crafted campaigns, strategies, structures that I'm going to give you as a resource to actually apply these in real time. The whole purpose of this training series is for you to do the thing that you say you want to do, and that is to grow your business by acquiring customers. So I'm going to give you all the strategies, the tactics, as much as I can over this 3-week period. And in between these sessions, you're going to see some emails from us that will give you instructions to say, hey, this is what I need you to do today to go and generate some clients. This will be like doing a real-time, in-time training and execution. There are only a couple of things that I am going to require from you as part of this process is feedback. What are you working on? What are you doing? How's it going? We want you to put that. I'm going to share a Facebook group with you in just a moment that I'd like you to jump into. Every training that we do here will be recorded. I will upload that when it renders, it'll in the next hour or so after this training. It'll upload into this private Facebook group. You'll be able to re-access this training and apply the things that you're going to be learning as we go through. Now, the game of business is pretty simple, and we want to follow a formula where we want to be consistent with the engagement and the work that we're doing to generate outcomes. So in this training today, there are things I'm going to be sharing with you that you can take action on straight after this training. My goal is for you to bridge the gap from where you are right now to your next paying customer. That is my goal. So from where you are now to the next paying customer. Once we get that paying customer, we're going to get the next paying customer, right? So the game you want to play is the fastest path to clients. That's the game we want to play. So like I said, there's a private Facebook group. I'm going to share that with the group in just a moment. I'm going to ask you to jump into that. This video will be posted in that group. All the exercises, the tactical things I'm going to share with you, I'm going to share those resources in the group. You are only going to be able to access that through that group, right? This is for those. The reason I'm doing this in this way is I want to make sure the people who are showing up for this get the best value out of this process, right? To give you perspective, I've run very similar trainings in very short spaces of time, and people have generated tens of thousands of dollars in customers just by doing this free training. I'm hoping that this will be even better purely because I've got the process for you to follow up and follow through to generate clients. So In a moment, in about 30 seconds, I'm just going to give you the Facebook group and just post it in the group here. And then I'm going to share with you what we've got. And it always eludes me when you get, it's here somewhere. I have it all ready for you guys. Here we go. All right, so this is the group that I'll be pasting for you. There's already a training in this particular group that you can access, and I'm just going to paste that to everyone. So can everybody see that? Just give me a nod if that's come through. Yep. All right. So all you got to do is hit that, invite yourself in. Somebody's going to let you in. You'll get access to everything. There's already a training in there, 10K in 30 days, how to get 10K recurring revenue 30 days. There's already up into the actual system you can get access to, and we're going to provide you with all the support that we can. My goal is for you to close clients. I want you to, I'd really love to see what's possible here is to probably generate between 3 to 4 clients over the next 3 weeks. That's the goal, right? Well, that's my goal. That could be your goal, but that's my goal, is that every single person here picks up 3 to 4 clients in the next 3 weeks, right? That's the goal. So with that, without further ado, let me share my screen so that we can rock and roll with the presentation. I am recording this, so I will cut to this section that we've got. So share a screen, here we go. I got it. All right, so very quickly, 30-second tour of me. Entrepreneur, investor, growth strategist, 37 years in the business. I started at 18. I bought 2 restaurants at 18 years old. That was a crazy adventure. I've built a diverse portfolio of businesses, grew my first marketing agency to 30 million in 8 years, built a marketing software agency with partners in the physical therapy space to a niche that is now doing $69 million a year in revenue. Took us 7 years to grow that. I coach over 200 marketing agencies and consultants. I have a marketing agency and a software company, 4 portfolio companies that I invest in, have ownership and a stake in. My thing is to help people navigate their entrepreneurial journey. That's what I'm here for. I believe that owning your business is the ultimate personal development experience. I say owning your business is the most expensive personal development program you're ever going to be part of. My mission to invest, collaborate, partner with people who want to innovate and create business opportunities and create value for those that I'm going to make an impact on. A friend of mine a long time used to remind me this, and he used to say, John, to have a friend, you have to be a friend first. And I kind of like to live with that motto. So that's 30 seconds of me, just to give you perspective of who I am and where I'm at. So you have right now the greatest business opportunity ever. The marketing game is more volatile and more buoyant and more important than anything you can imagine from a business point of view. The function of business is to, one of the core functions is to acquire clients, right? The fact that we can automate this game, and we have been able to do this for quite a number of years now, but the game is changing even further, where what's probably the most important extraction we get is data, right? The more data we have, the tools that are coming along and the tools that we're using are changing our ability to run ad campaigns, SEO campaigns, building new websites that are responsive and functional, funnels for people, a lot of this sort of stuff. A lot of businesses may or may not have pieces of that. But right now, every conversation that I'm having out there, and I've been traveling for the last couple of months overseas, been literally speaking to hundreds of business owners. I've been presenting to thousands of business owners on stage over the last 8 weeks. And the constant conversation I'm having and where the demand is automation, is in effective advertising promotion, in effective local search. This is where people's heads are at, right? You are in right now, it's in your genre of whatever agency you're trying to build. If you are marketing related and using tech, this is the greatest time right now. Between now and the next 5 years, it'll be a game changer. It'll be a game changer. I often say to people that if you are not busy, nobody knows who you are. You should be busy. You should be flat out. You should be in demand with what you do. And so today I'm going to walk you through, and over the next 3 days, I'm going to walk you through where you make yourself highly visible to people who will be predisposed to getting the benefit of what you do. right? So to do that, you have to identify as a business owner. Now, I know this is a really strange thing to say, but it's really important, right? Really important here. As a business owner, you have a responsibility to your company. If you're a freelancer or a contractor, if you see yourself as a freelancer or a contractor, you're an employee, you're not a business owner, right? But you need to treat what you do as a business owner, because business owners talk to business owners, all right? Business owners talk and listen to business owners. So you need to identify as this. This is not who you are, this is just what you do, right? And so the more you shout out to the world that this is what I do, and this is how I help people, and this is what people will get out of me, the more clients you open the door to. Most people hide. I have no idea why they do this. I think a lot of it stems from a lack of clarity, a lack of focus, uncertainty, a lack of confidence. These are all the reasons why people don't succeed in the marketing agency game. But if you are clear about what it is that you do, if you're clear about the results that you can deliver or what you believe you can deliver, that gives you a level of certainty. When you've got certainty, you've got confidence. And when you've got confidence, you will grow. The goal that you want to be thinking about is picking up minimum as an agency or as a business owner, you should be generating at least one client every 10 days. One brand new client every 10 days as a minimum. If you're not generating one brand new client every 10 days, then every 2 to 3 months, you're going to have to replace 1 or 2 clients, and it's going to hurt. You're going to fall into the trap of a revenue cash flow deficit cycle, right? Meaning that you'll lose a couple of clients, then panic, then go and get more clients, and then pick revenue up. But what you're doing is you're standing still. You're not growing, right? So number one, you need to identify as a business owner, right? And as a business owner, you need to let everybody know what you're doing. This is how you're going to generate client opportunities. The types of businesses that you believe, or what types of business you believe will get the results from using your service. Now, a lot of people, I'm going to talk a little bit about niching in the coming trainings. I don't want to get too caught up in niche, but I want to just talk a little bit about this. If you've got a niche, that's amazing, right? That's fantastic, because it means you can replicate a sales process over and over again. You're having the same conversation, you'll be able to make the same adjustments, and you'll be able to leverage your opportunity. If you don't have a niche, then think a little bit more broader. So for example, if you want to help contractors is a broader scale. They operate in the same way. They all do business by generating quotes. They all do business very similarly. They're just selling a different service. You've got a roofer, you've got electricians, carpenters, kitchen remodelers, bathroom remodelers, fencing people, flooring, paving people, tiling people. They're contractor-based businesses. Healthcare, right? Healthcare businesses, local healthcare, community care, chiropractors, osteopaths, physical therapists, acupuncturists, nutritionists, occupational therapists. Like the therapy or the public healthcare services is a niche, and they all operate fairly similarly. So you don't necessarily have to narrow down into one. You can narrow broad, right? Now I've just selected 2, but there are literally 10,000 niches out there, right? And often people ask me, what's the best niche? And I say, well, the best niche is one that needs customers buying all the time, that needs customers to spend as much money as possible in their business when they provide a service, and that need to keep those customers and generate referrals from those customers. That is the best niche that you can serve. That pretty much describes every business on the planet, right? If you're in the marketing game, you're looking for people who are already spending money on marketing. That's who you're looking for. Don't work with people who don't value marketing. There's no point. You have to educate. The sales cycle is too long, and you tend to underprice. You want to work with people who value what you do. Work with people who spend money on the thing that you're doing right now. Okay, that's what you want to do. So, how many clients do you want to bring on board by the 30th of November, right? How many clients for you? And this is the question I'd like you to answer. And if you're brave enough, type in the chat, right? It's a little over, this is a little over 8 weeks, right? How many clients by the 30th of November do you want to bring into your business? Just type it in the chat. Leanne, do you do me the kindness and read out what people are typing?
8 from Oliver. 15 from Nita.
Mm-hmm.
10, 5, 10. 3, 10.
Mm-hmm. So think about that number, right? Between now and that time is how many clients you want to bring on board, right? Okay, and you want to create a plan. I'm going to show you a really simple plan where we're going to go get those numbers. right? That's the deal here. Most people don't know where they're going. Most people don't know what they're doing tomorrow. I want you to think about the fact that you actually want to make an impact on your business. It means that you need to be very specific about what you want to achieve and the outcomes you want to maximize yourself to generate. So the most practical thing you can do is say, this is what I want by this date, right? This is what I want by this date, okay? We're going to get into this in a moment. Now, think about this number. How many people do you think that you need to speak to just get one client? How many people do you need to share your idea with to generate one client? Just type those numbers in the chat. Leanne, do you mind just sharing what those numbers are? Just to get your next paying customer, how many people do you roughly think you need to be sharing your idea with to convert one customer? What are the numbers?
I've got 3, 5, 10. See that now? It's 10, 40 cold, 10 got there.
All right. So what I want you to do, those people who've shared those numbers, thank you, Leanne, I really appreciate that. Those people who've shared those numbers, now you need to multiply the number you said of the number of clients that you want to generate by that number, right? You need to multiply the number of people you think you need to speak to get one customer by the number that you said of the number of clients you want to generate by 30th of November, 9 weeks from now, right? And that's going to give you how many people you have to engage over that period. That's going to give you how many people you need to engage over that period to hit that number, approximately. Now, what I need you to do is divide that big number by 9. Divide it by 8. Divide it by 8. Divide that big number by 8. Whatever the big number is, divide that number up by 8, and that'll tell you how many people you need to speak to every week. And if you can do the kindness and type the number of people that you need to speak to per week to hit that number. So what are the numbers, Leanne?
40, we've got 5, Steve says 6, Danny says 10, 8, 10.
So on average, you've got to speak to roughly 1 to 2 people per day. 5-day week, 20-day working month, you've roughly got to speak to 1 to 2 people per day. I want you to write, I need to speak to 1 to 2 people per day on a blank sheet of paper. I need to speak to 1 to 2 people per day to hit my number, right? That's roughly what it takes. So it's not a lot. So if you had 8 hours in a day, I'm not going to ask you to respond or answer to this question. Think about this. If you had 8 hours a day and you had to speak to one person about what you do, you got 8 hours to do it, right? There are about 50 things that you could do to do that. I'm going to talk about 2 or 3 of them today, but there are about 50 things that you can do every day in an 8-hour period. And one of those things is going to give you the answer, right? To hit the number you say you want to hit. And if you play that game with me every single day, I will guarantee you're either going to come really close or you're going to exceed the number. If you don't play the game every day, then you are not going to get what you say you want. And you have to look yourself in the eyes in the mirror and say, I got what I asked for. I know that sounds a bit harsh, but we're in the game of business, right? We want to win. If we want to win, we need to think about what we're doing, where we're heading, and why we're doing this, okay? So this is a simple revenue plan. I'll just give you a perspective, because one thing I didn't ask you is how much money you want to bank, right? So let's say I wanted to bank $10,000 worth of cash, and I'm saying here by the 31st of August, that's the wrong date. That should be a later date. That should be November. Let's say I want to put 10 grand in, right? So my average deposit to collect is roughly $2,000 per client. I need 5 clients to get that $10,000 banked, right? How many people do I need to make an offer to get those clients? Roughly, let's say I was working on an average of 1 in 4 people, right? How many people do I need to qualify to get 4 pitches? Probably about 20 people. Probably about 20 people I've got to talk to get 4 pitches, right? To speak to 20 people, I have to engage about 100 people in a 30-day period, okay? That's roughly 5 messages a day, 5 follow-ups a day, 5 days a week. That's roughly what I got to do to hit that number, right? 1 hour a day, 5 a week will get me 10K banked in 30 days. That is your plan. So you need to divide that number of clients by the average deposit they're going to pay you, and that's how much money you're aiming to bank in that period of 9 weeks. So you multiply what if your average deposit's $1,000, and you want to get 8 clients, then that means you're going to bank $8,000 in money, right? If your average deposit is $2,000 and you need 8 clients, that's $16,000 you're going to deposit in your bank account. It's cash collected, not cash projected. You can only count on the money you bank, not on the money that you project out to get from a client, right? So this is how you build a very simple plan to generate revenue for your agency, right? So let's talk about focus, right? What do we have to do to get to our next paying customer? That's the question you have to answer. We need to create a quick offer. We need to think about one thing that we do, one thing, and make an offer around that one thing and bring it out to the market. In the next training, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of these types of offers. I'm going to show one strategy here with an offer on this training that all of you should be able to do. But on the next thing, we're going to be talking about how you can create a bunch of really cool offers, right? So we want to create one offer. Now, some of you have already got an offer, right? But think about what it is that you're doing. My favorite offer is if I've got a result from a client and it's been a really good result, the offer is really simple. Hey, we were able to help one of our clients get this result. We mapped out the framework on how we succeeded getting this result. What we want to do is we want to share this model to show you how we got this result and show you how you can get it too. But what I'm really interested in is I want to beat this result with you. Are you interested? We've got this awesome result. We mapped out the framework. Are you open to seeing the framework that got this result for a business just like you? And what I'm really interested in is I want to beat this result with you. Are you open to having a conversation? That is one of the best offers you can make. Hey, we got this. Now, somebody might say, hey, John, but I don't have a lot of case studies. I'm going to give a message for you in just a moment, right? Because a lot of people are, I don't have any big case studies. You don't need them, right? But if you do have a case study, pick your case study, right? And you help that client with a framework to get that result, and you know what that was. So now you want to say, hey, I've got a framework that gets this result for businesses just like you. What I really want to do is show you the framework, and ideally, I would love to beat that result. Are you open to that idea, is what we're saying. That's the message. Now, I've said that message 3 different ways, 3 different times the same way, right? So if you want to, just re-listen to the recording and you'll get the message. So we want to make a quick offer. Now, for those of you who don't have case studies and don't have results, and you're kind of just getting started out, you have a methodology of a system. So for example, if I was using Globotel and I was an SEO person, and Globotel, Steve, if you can give me the kindness, how many campaigns are you running this month, just on average? It's got to be over 100 campaigns, yeah?
Yeah, I'd say probably 200, 250.
So you're running about 200 campaigns a month, right? Just for SEO, right? Or more, right? So think about that. If you're utilizing an outsourced service that is running 200 campaigns a month, they're your team. Globotel are your black box, right? So if you're using a resource partner like Globotel, use the frameworks that they successfully use to generate results for your clients. So here's what I would do if I was an SEO person and I was using Globotel services. And this is one of the best offers you can make, right? So we have a team right now that is responsible for managing over 230 accounts that generate millions of visitors to websites all over the world. What we would like to do is share that resource and those strategies with you. Are you open to attracting and engaging clients directly who are predisposed and want to buy from you? Right? That's your offer. Use Globotel as the black box. You're not saying that you are doing this. You're saying that right now we're using a framework, we're using a model that is having an impact on over 230 businesses this month, that is generating hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars worth of visitors, of people who are interested and predisposed to buying what you have. Are you open to getting access to our team? That's your offer. So if you're just starting out, use the black box, use Globotel, right? Because they've got the experience, they've got the team. There's over 200 team members. I think last time I spoke, there was more than about 200 team members in Globotel, maybe even more. But understand that there is a resource. You don't need to have all the experience in the case studies. The people that you're using to fulfill can provide you with those elements. You're not saying I'm doing this. You're saying your team is doing this, right? You're not telling people that you're managing 239 accounts. You're saying your team is managing 239 accounts, right? Your team is responsible for hundreds of visitors or hundreds of thousands of visitors every month to websites all over the world. right? So that gives you a lot of presence and a lot of posture, right? You're not saying something that is untrue, right? You're actually sharing something that's relevant, that is true. Okay, so that's if I haven't got a case study. So for example, I'll use this from a PPC or AdWords perspective, or even a Facebook perspective, right? Our primary objective is to optimize campaigns so that you generate a much stronger return or rate of return on your business. Are you open to getting a better top line revenue return on your ad campaigns? I would love to share with you what an optimized campaign looks like. So if you're selling PPC or selling Facebook ads, what do you want to do? You want to sell an optimized Facebook ad, right? The people over Globotel, how many ads do you run every week? Hundreds, thousands, right? So you know what you're doing. You've got a team that is experienced media buyers, experienced optimizers, experienced designers and creatives, right? So what you want to do is you have a team that can deliver optimized ad campaigns, right? Because you don't want to run an unoptimized ad campaign. You want to run an optimized campaign. And most people are running an unoptimized ad campaign, right? So there is a method and a framework to run a campaign that works. Most people are and the people I would sell this to are already people who are running ads. I would not be selling this to people who don't run ads, right? I would be selling the fact because 80% of most ad campaigns are unoptimized. They're not set up properly. They don't work, right? So you have an opportunity to use a service like Globotel's to run an optimized campaign. Let people know what you do. They will be open to listening, right? So that would be a message of an offer that I would put out to the market. So there's about 4 different offers you can do. I'll talk a little bit about that when I do Q&A. If you want me to craft an offer for you live, I'll do it if we've got a bit of time at the end of this presentation, right? Ask people if they want to know more. This is your process, right? So, hey, got an idea? Do you want to know more about this idea? You want to book in some time? Let's have a quick conversation about how we can help you. It's certainly not going to hurt you, but I guarantee it might help. So it's worthwhile having a chat. And then you want to show them how you're going to help them get the result they want. And then you're going to make them an offer and get them started. This is your cycle over and over again. Offer, ask people to know more, book in some time, show them how you help and get a result, and then make them an offer to get started. You don't have to do anything else other than these 5 steps. Offer, ask, book in the time for a chat, show, and then invite, engage. There is nothing else you need to do in this business. You just need to do this, rinse and repeat over and over and over again, right? You do this, you'll get a client every 10 days. If you do this with 4 people a week, I'll guarantee you're going to get 4 to 5 clients a month, right? So leads, let's talk about leads. I want to talk about what top agencies do. So just to give you a perspective, if you're really doing well, this is what the top agencies in the world do. This is what the people I work with, I get them to do, right? So the top agencies in the world, this is how they get their business. I'm talking 7 and 8 figures. That's what I'm talking about. The 7 and 8 figure businesses, they do these 5 things. They network, generate connections and relationships. They're big on networking and relationships. They generate referral partners, joint venture partners, right? These are leverage opportunities. They build authority within a niche, providing education. They actually spend money on advertising themselves. They actually spend money on advertising. And the ones that do really well do direct sales. What I mean is they pick up the phone, right? So the most successful, I'm talking multi-7, 8-figure, 10-figure agencies, right? The people who run those agencies, this is what they do to grow their business successfully. They network, they refer, they generate partners, they build authority within the niche, they advertise, and they do direct sales. So this is a client engagement matrix. At the bottom are all the organic level, right? Where we call what most people say is the free thing, right? So cold email, LinkedIn, social media, webinars, networking. It's not free. It's time and it's energy, and it is a cost. You incur a cost in your time, so it's not free. However, the fastest way to grow is the middle lot. The middle lot is running paid ads. Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, media journals, TV, radio, anywhere where you're running ads. The reason why you're running advertising is to scale your sales opportunities, right? Advertising is always going to win over organic, right? It's faster. And the third level is at the top level is what we call leverage strategies. Leverage strategies is building relationships with groups and associations or with joint venture partners who are actual people who provide what we call adjacent, right? So these people are actual providers to the market you want to serve, right? So people already serving your customers that you can build relationships with. It's one of the easiest ways. A good JV is worth $1 million plus in an agency. This is how we grow our agencies fast. We look for JV opportunities because it opens us to 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 clients, right? This is a little bit more advanced strategy, but if you find the right referral partners that actually feed your clients, feed your opportunities, it's the fastest way to grow, right? So this is the matrix. So the bottom end, organic, it works. All of these organic things work. All of them work. And by the way, there's only 5 of them. There's actually about 190 organic things you can do, but this is the one that most people go to, they gravitate towards, okay? So where do we get leads, right? Social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, there should be no excuse. You should all have a bucket load of leads. I'm going to show you a few places where you can get lots of free leads, and I can show you a place where you can get paid leads. So things like aggregator websites, house.com, Home Advisor, Yelp. These are all areas where they have niche-based businesses that are spending money in directories. They're already spending money on advertising, which means they're qualified in those aggregators. So if you go to house.com represents anything to do with design, construction, landscaping, all that sort of stuff, 50 different niches. The average person on House is spending about $24,000 a year just for one directory. One directory. So these people are saying, I'm spending 24 grand to just be on one directory for a year, right? So think about if they can afford to do that. And by the way, they're paying on average it works out between $600 and $800 to $1,000 per appointment. And that appointment on these aggregator websites is shared with other people. So they're competing against a whole bunch of other people to sell the same thing. So if they're advertising directly with you, the choice is with you, not with an aggregator. You can dramatically reduce the cost of acquisition over an aggregator. So these websites, Home Advisor, House, all those sorts of things, they're global. There's millions of businesses in there. The majority of businesses are paying a very significant fee to generate clients out of that service. Buy lists from list brokers. There's a few list brokers or a few listing services that I would use that are very inexpensive and very targeted. You can advertise, right? You can run your own ads. And what I would do is get a spreadsheet, run a lead ad for whatever service I was doing. In that spreadsheet, when somebody responded to my ad, I would get a text message sent to my phone saying you need to call this person because they're inquiring about running an ad with you. And then I would call that person and then I would filter through leads. And before I know it, I've got 10 to 20 clients in less than 2 months just by doing that, running cheap Facebook lead ads, right? So that's another way. Trade shows and journals, easy mark. Most people spend thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars at trade shows. Every conference I go to has a trade show attached to it. The reason why I love trade shows, in fact, I was with a whole bunch of my coaching clients in Los Angeles 2 weeks ago. We went to 2 trade shows. All of us generated appointments. I generated clients. Another one of them generated an actual sale out of that as well. But they're easy to go to. They're inexpensive. There's a website called 10times10times.com. You can look up a trade show in your city. Some of them are free. Some of them are paid. But it is a license to print money because these people are spending a lot of money to generate leads. Trade shows are great for prospecting. Job sites and job boards. Now that sounds like an odd thing to do. Companies that are advertising directly in job boards. So if you go to LinkedIn jobs on the LinkedIn contracts, there are people who are saying, I need to find a copywriter or I need to find a Facebook ad person. I've got a budget of $7,000 or $10,000. Can you help me? They're actually looking for you, right, on those job sites. So there's people who are saying, so iWriter.com, in fact, I looked at this the other day. There was a job for a copywriter. What they wanted was a 20 email sequence, and the budget for the 20 email sequence was $9,000 American. Who would organize a copywriter at $50 an hour for $9,000 to write 20 emails every day of the week? So there are people out there who are requesting for you to help them, right? And anybody who's advertising for a media buyer, a Facebook ad person, a PPC person, social media person, anybody that's advertising for that position, anybody worth their metal is not going to look for a job, right? And a person that the average cost of a team member in that role is about 75 to 150 grand, depending on the position in the role. So now I know none of you are charging $75,000 a year to do Facebook ads for businesses right now, but businesses are willing to spend 75 grand for a media buyer, right? That might not be as trained and might not be as skilled as they think to run media campaigns. And so I'll give you an example. Dennis Dubinar, one of the guys that I coached, used this strategy to get his clients. He would just literally go to LinkedIn, to Indeed, find companies who are advertising for the role, not your recruitment companies, the direct companies. So they're advertising for a Facebook ads person, right? So he would sit there and say, listen, I can say right now it's going to take you 2 or 3 months to find that person. You're going to spend 70 to 80 grand hiring that person, and they're going to be ineffective. So it's going to take you 5 months before you run an ad and get money. I've got a whole team for a quarter or half of that price that will run ads today and get results for you immediately. What do you want to do? He picked up an $80,000 client the first time he did this. He picked up 7 clients by people looking for a person to hire rather than thinking about using a service, right? So plenty of opportunities for getting leads. Industry journals and magazines. Anybody spending money on a full page ad is spending tens of thousands of dollars for a full page ad. You can't buy one full page ad in a magazine. You have to buy 4 or 6 or 10. It's a package. It costs you tens of thousands of dollars to do it. Most ads suck. There's no call to action. There's no buy my thing. It's like, we're really cool and here's our cool product. But there's no phone number, right? But if you did a direct response campaign for people who are running ads, who are spending that kind of money to get no result, then you are going to be a hero for these people. Retail precincts, mall, light industrial areas are full of businesses that have assets that they invest in to be able to, they're spending money, right? So I'll give you an example. To open up a med spa costs you between $700,000 to $1 million. That's a basic med spa. That's how much you're going to spend before you open your doors, just to set it up. If you've got an asset that you're spending $1 million on, you want to make sure that business works, yes? And the fastest way to get people into that door is to advertise. The fastest way I know how to get people in the door is hire Globotel to run an ad campaign for these people, right? And so you have a very powerful opportunity to leverage where people are at. Anybody that's investing in assets and people, they are a prospective market. Now, the one website that everybody forgets is Google. I can find people advertising in any location just on Google. I can go to the Facebook ad management thing and look up current running Facebook ads, and I can put them in SpyFu or put them in other pieces of software like follow.net and find out roughly how much money they're spending a day on ads. Now, if somebody's spending $500 a day, that's $15,000 a month on ads, right? I would like to work with those people. You would like to work with those people, right? Because 75% of most ad budgets are wasted. 75% of most ad budgets. So if I'm spending 10 grand, $7,500 of my ad budget is wasted in most cases because I haven't optimized. I'm not tracking properly. My strategy might be wrong because I'll tell you my leads suck, right? And so this is where your opportunity is to help people who are already spending the money to invest it with you for a better strategy. That's what you want to do. Best place to buy market qualified leads. Things like White Label Suite, things like Lucia, things like Apollo, things like UpLead. You can buy leads for as little as 15 cents. That's a verified email, a contact name, and a mobile phone number. 15 cents to 50 cents per lead on average. Buy 500 leads, it's going to cost you $250. Verified email. Now you can even designate a decision maker. You can designate a decision maker. So the person who's a decision maker, you can buy leads fairly cheaply. So there are no excuses. One of the questions I often ask people, they'll say, oh, I don't have enough leads, right? Why? Why don't you have enough leads? There are leads everywhere. It's not the leads that's the problem, is you don't have enough appointments. That's what you don't have enough of. Getting the leads is easy. It's the appointments we need to focus on, right? So 6 lists that you need to think about right now. And the one that's going to turn money for you today is the first list. Friends, family, and acquaintances, contacts, alumni, people you know. Write them all down, send a message. This is the message I want you to send to everybody today. Whatever service you're providing, you're a Facebook person, you send a Facebook message out. If you do AdWords, you send AdWords. If you're SEO, you do SEO. If you're a website person, you do website. If you're sales automation, lead management, lead follow-up, you send a website. Tell all your familiar people that this is what I'm doing right now. This is what I'm excited about. This is the project I'm working on, right? I am helping people like this with this idea to work on getting these types of results. Is this something that you might be interested in knowing more about? But what I'm looking for is for your help to introduce me to businesses who might benefit from this thing that I do. That is the message I want you to send out today, right? I send this message out to my familiar list every month. My friends, my family, my associates, I send my familiar offer or my familiar invitation every single month. And guess what happens? Every month we get referrals. Every month we get clients from our familiars. The people who like you, who know you, who love you, will support you. If you're early in the business, if you're early stages in your business, your first 5 to 10 clients will come from this. Your messaging on your phone, all your contacts on your phone, your social media contacts, because you can direct message people in social media, and your friends, family, and associates. That's where you're going to get your easy 5 to 10 clients in a month, right? But you need to let people know what you do. I discovered this a long time ago. My mother used to ask me, John, you need to go and get a real job. I was a business owner. I was an agency owner. John, why are you doing this? Go and get a real job, right? She didn't understand what I did. I had to remind her that this is what we do, right? Most people who you know don't know what you do. Let them know. It is the fastest way to open up the door to business. Connections list, social media, LinkedIn, that is a list for you. Client list, past, present, offers made, won or lost. Anybody you made an offer to for what you do is on your list. Anybody you pitched to in the past is on your list. This is a list of people, right? They already know what you do. They already know how much you charge. They already know what's the offer. So these are the people you want to re-engage with, right? Now, prospect list, curated, collected, or scraped. That's the fourth list, curated, collected, or scraped, right? A lot of people scrape leads. A lot of people curate leads. This is a curated list, right? Fifth list, frequently business list. Businesses that you go to on a regular basis are prospective clients for what you do, right? Your mechanic, your electrician, your air conditioning guy, your doctor, your lawyer, your accountant, your osteopath, your chiropractor, your naturopath, your retail store, they are all business owners that you possibly might help, or they know people who might benefit from what you do. Your frequented business list is a very powerful list, especially if they see you regularly, they know you, right? And then you got your bought lists, right? Your white labels, your Apollos, your Upleads, your Lucias, these are all your bought lists, right? Now there are several other lists. There's borrowed lists, there's partner lists, there's a whole bunch of things, but these are the 6 lists. The first 3 lists are the ones that you have access to right now. The first 3 lists are what you have access to right now, right? So 5 ones. There's a guy called Clay Collins. He founded Lead Pages. He also is the founder of Drift, or the owner of Drift, which is, I believe, a $500 million autoresponder company. Many years ago. I don't know where he got it from. I think he got it from Dan Sullivan. But the 5 ones were, this is how he built Lead Pages into a $100 million company, right? 1 product offer, 1 avatar, 1 traffic source, 1 conversion mechanism, 1 plan. 1 offer. You can't lead the market with multiple offers. You're going to confuse the market if you keep offering different things. You want to pick 1 thing and be consistent with that offer, 1 core offer, right? So you want to pick 1 thing. The reason why I'm saying pick 1 thing is because you can repeatedly get better and better at communicating that message. It's much easier to sell when people know the 1 core thing that you do. If you keep changing it up all the time, you're going to confuse your market. They don't know what they're coming to you for, right? So you want to start with 1 avatar, 1 type of person that would benefit the most. Now, it might be a broad avatar in the similar niche, that's okay, or it might be a specific business. So for example, one of the guys I coach, Sergio, he was really good at getting all-on-4 implant leads for dentists who specialized in all-on-4. Not all dentists do all-on-4 procedures. All-on-4 implants is faster, like you can get your teeth in 1 day. 1 sitting, in and out, you got all your teeth, you look amazing, right? Whereas normal implant surgery takes a long time. So all-on-4 is a very specific type of procedure. So what Sergio is really good at is I will find people who are interested in getting an all-on-4 procedure with you. I'll find people that are qualified for the money, that are interested in the procedure and educated by the procedure, and then I want to bring them to you. So he was very specific with his avatar. He could only work with dental practices that actually offered this service. So his lead list was super easy because all he had to do was list of companies, or go to the Dental Association, list of dentists that only specialize in all-on-4. By the way, the average all-on-4 procedure is $20,000 to $40,000. So it's a big ticket item, very popular. One avatar. And so he dialed it in. He had one offer. He had one offer to one market. The average client would be spending 5 to 10 grand a month for Sergio to run Facebook ads for all-on-4, because he's running Facebook ads to a funnel, right? So one traffic source. And you want to get really good at this. So wherever you've had success in the past, or you're succeeding and you're getting traction right now, I want you to double down on that strategy. Whatever's working for you right now to generate a client, right? What I want you to do is focus and double down and improve and iterate and get a better result. You want to use one traffic source, right? For some people, it's social media, LinkedIn, cold email. Some people cold email. If you're going to do cold email, double down on cold email. Right? Get really good at your messaging, engagement, your consistency. The reason why cold email fails is people just don't send enough emails, right? If you want to win with cold email, you want to be doing a minimum of 1,000 emails a day. 1,000 emails a day will give you 5 clients a month, right? But those emails have to be warmed up. They have to be relevant. The more you talk to people, the more money you're going to make, right? One traffic source, right? One conversion mechanism. A conversion mechanism might be a lead magnet. It might be a webinar. It might be a free consultation for a specific purpose. But what is the mechanism you use to bring people into your sales process? That's what we're doing here, right? That's what we need to do. And then a plan. All of you have got a plan. All of you have got a plan. So you've got the plan. You got that. Of the 5 ones piece, you've got one of the 5 ones. What we need to do, and actually you've got the top one as well, because we talked about offers, right? But that's what you want to do. So next, who will benefit the most? Make a list. I got this cool idea. I believe these businesses will benefit the most, right? You want to list the features and the benefits. So what the idea is and the benefit of that. And what you want to do is you want to focus on the benefit of the benefit. So to give an example, I've put this up here and you can all look at this. So for example, what if I was doing sales automation or lead management, right? So email engagement, right? Lead comes in from your advertising campaign and you send out an email, right? SMS lead response. So if a lead comes in, you can text them, automate text message those people. Landing pages. If you want to maximize your conversion on ads, you want a really good landing page that is relevant to the offer, that gives people the next logical step to buy what you have to offer, right? You might be doing lead management, right? So lead management, we got a whole bunch of emails and we want to make sure that people are actively engaged. So what is the benefit of these things? So the benefit of email is you can respond to leads in real time. It notifies clients directly or as well. You can capture leads, which without a landing page you can't. Every lead is managed in real time if they're going through an automation assistant. So what is the real thing that you're selling, right? It speeds up the process of generate appointments, speed to lead, speed to client, right? It helps you prospect, engage directly with sales. It launches campaigns and incentivizes sales, and you can follow up, convert, and track your clients. And if you said to somebody, if we had a system that sped your process of generating appointments, we help the prospect to engage directly with sales people immediately. We were able to launch campaigns and incentivize sales and be able to do that. And we can automatically follow up and track and convert all your opportunities. What impact do you think that will have on your business? Now, the person's going to go, that would be awesome because we're not doing any of that, right? How much do you think it's costing you not doing that? How much do you think it's costing you not running an optimized ad campaign, right? If we were running an optimized ad campaign, what do you believe the difference would be? Well, it would be a game changer, more qualified leads, more. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to offer the benefit of the benefit. That's what we're trying to do, right? So next, Google emails, follow-up scripts. I'm going to share with you a really simple thing. This is the strategy to go and get clients really fast, right? So here's what I'd do. I'd make a list of everyone I know in business. I make a list of businesses that I frequent, and I make a list of potential referral partners that I know, accountant, lawyer, insurance. I'd make a list. This list should take you about 45 minutes to create. It means that you're writing down everybody you know, every single person, right? Now you have a list of people, right? And so here's the thing. You want to pick up 3 to 5, you want to pick 3 to 5 people in that list. You want to pick 3 to 5 people in the list. They must be relatively easy for you to contact. So you must be easy to get a hold of. You understand or you know roughly what business they're in. So you've got a little idea of what's going on. How does what you do help them? And you're going to do a little bit of homework and a little bit of research on them. And then you're going to create a complete solution and a plan just for them, right? One that will help them get a tangible result. that if you believe that they implemented your plan, they would get a result, right? All of you can do this. So what you're doing is you do a little bit of homework, right? Pick a business. So I'll give an example. There was a fitness equipment company. They sell average fitness equipment at the low end, a couple $100. At the high end, on average, is about $1,500 to $5,000 for their equipment. Not very cheap, right? They not really good marketers, right? I know that. I would look at their ad campaigns if they do run ad campaigns. I would look at their searchability. I would just pick one thing that I know that if we did something, for example, let's say it was a reactivation email campaign, or if I ran a simple lead ad, Facebook ad campaign, just to drive traffic based on a compelling offer for their equipment, right? I would put that together. I would sit down and structure that as a plan. So, hey, here's my idea. Here's what I believe you should be doing. And I've created a complete plan. So what you want to do is, this is your reach out. Please take a screenshot of this. Hey, just wanted to touch base with you. I did some research on your business and how you can optimize sales with automation or AI or Facebook ads or mobile optimized website or whatever you do, right? I came up with a comprehensive plan and a strategy to achieve this result. Can I walk you through to get your feedback on what you think about the plan? And if you like it, feel free to implement it and get the results from the strategy, right? I'm just trying to help businesses that I believe that I can get a great result for. And I thought the best way to do that was to share what I believe will give you a great outcome to help your business. A little bit about me, what I do, who I help, and why I chose your business, right? That's your script, okay? And here's your close. Here's how you're going to close a deal, right? I'm going to stop in a moment. I'm going to answer some questions before I continue on, okay? And I'm looking at the time and we're good, right? So, easiest close on the planet. Once you've shown them this, did you like the plan? If you were to implement it, what impact do you think it'll have on your business? Would you be willing to try it out and execute on the plan? Would you like me or my team to help you put that in place for you? I'm happy to do it at family rates. Did you like what I put together for you? If you were to implement this, what do you think would happen? Would you be willing to give it a shot? Would you like me to do this for you and my team? If you're happy, I'm happy to give you a deal, right? 3 things are going to happen if you do this strategy. Number 1, you'll get a customer. You do this to 3 people, I'll guarantee you get a client. You might even get 3 clients, but I'll guarantee you get 1 client. But what you will do is you'll get referrals. If they don't buy, they'll feel obligated and say, well, if it's not for you, who do you think will benefit from a plan like this? Do you know anybody that you would recommend? They would feel beholden to you. So they'll give you 2 to 3 referrals. Now you can go to those people and say, hey, I spoke to Bob, I spoke to Sue, and they recommended, I put something together for them and they thought that what I put together was something that would be very valuable for you. Are you open to having that conversation? I'll guarantee you, you'll have appointments doing this, right? So you offer this to 3. I would encourage you all to do this. This exercise will only take you less than a couple of hours. It's not a lot, right? I would encourage you to go and do this because it is one of the easiest ways to get clients. It has a high value proposition. People are engaged in this process when they sit down and look at what you've got to offer. And some of them will like what you've got to offer and they will buy what you have to offer. It is one of the easiest and fastest and cheapest ways to get clients, right? So far, type in the chat your takeaways so far from what I've shared. Just type in the chat. I'm going to stop sharing for this for a second. I'm going to stop sharing so I can eyeball all of you. I need to put my viewer in place here so I can see all of you. Oh, wow, we've got a whole bunch of people here. So type in the chat, takeaways so far. Stephen says the new business we need is right in front of us. Absolutely. The benefit of the benefit. Think out of the box when it comes to generating leads. Who would have thought that LinkedIn jobs would be a lead? Absolutely. Get yourself in there consistently and frequently. Yes. It's a lot easier to find leads than I thought. Yes, absolutely. You should. That is one thing that you should not have any difficulty in doing in this business, because you don't need a lot of leads to make a lot of money in this business. To run $1 million agency, if your average sale is $3,000, you only need 27 clients. That's a little over 2 clients a month, and you're running $1 million agency. We've got a person I'm working with right now, Crystal, who started with me 60 days ago. She's already at $500,000 in 60 days doing this. She's at $500,000 worth of revenue in 60 days, 2 months. She'll hit a $1 million run rate in the next 2 to 3 months. She'll be there. Yeah. Imagine owning a business at $1 million in 5 months. Just doing what I've just told you to do. Just over and over again. Repeat and rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Right? So making it sound so easy. Thanks, Malik. Yes, it actually is. Like, I'm just going to pull back here for a moment and just give you perspective, just to help you out here so you understand this. As a business owner, you have an idea of what you want your business to be, right? And the more clear more understanding you have around that idea for yourself, the more likely you're going to achieve those outcomes. Most people are very distracted. They're not very clear about the offer they're making. They're not very clear about who benefits. And they're still trying to figure out that thing of trusting that the client will get results. And these are all things that are real, right? But if there's one thing I've learned, and I looked at that number before, was 37. I know I look like a teenager. I know I'm really young. I'm sorry. But about 40 years ago, if I look back 40 years ago, it took me about 7 years to understand this one thing. And I didn't discover this thing. Somebody made it blatantly obvious to me. It took me about 7 years to really connect with this idea. And once I understood this, it changed my world as far as business was concerned, right? And I didn't realize that I was already doing it. But when I understood that I was, it changed the game forever for me, right? It changed the game. What it was that depending on whatever business I was growing, or depending on whatever business you're growing, to hit the outcome that you actually want to aspire to, what you believe to aspire to, just takes one thing, a decision to actually do that, right? You make the choice of doing the things that you need to do and figuring the things you need to figure out to hit that outcome. The difference between a 6-figure business and a 7-figure business is a 7-figure business decided to be a 7-figure business. They would not be a 7-figure business if they did not decide to do that, right? They went, we knew how to make 6 figures. Now we need to 10x that to do 7 figures, right? So when you make a decision for the outcome that you actually want, in that moment, that's where your responsibility lies. Because you have to ask yourself, how important is that? That's the only question you have to answer, is how important is it for you to achieve that outcome? Because I'm going to share with you, and you know some of these people. There are people that I know in the world that are not very bright. In fact, they're not even as bright as a plank. And they seem to manage to run multiple $1 million businesses. Like, they are dumb as garbage, right? And they, for some reason, miraculously have figured out some hidden formula that nobody else could figure out. And they are cracking the multiple $1 million business, right? So does it take work? Yes, it does. Do you need to be focused? Absolutely. You're learning, right? You're learning this process. You have to pay a price, an apprenticeship, right? You have to pay the price. Most of you have already paid the price. You've already paid enough of a price. You're ready to go to make that difference. Most of you have already paid the price. You've earned your apprenticeship. You just haven't owned the value that you deliver to the market, right? So all you got to do is saying, this is what I want, and this is why I really, really, really want it. That's 4 reallys, right? This is why I really want to make this difference. Because when you own that, then it doesn't matter what gets in your way. That's your learning curve. You're doing one of 2 things in business. You're either winning or you're learning. You are not failing at business. You're not failing. You don't fail. You're learning. If it's not working out the way you want, you're learning. You're either winning or you're learning. You are always going to learn. Remember I said at the beginning that being a business owner is going to be the most expensive personal development program you're ever going to invest in? That's the truth, because you are going to go through some awesome stuff and you're going to go through some absolute garbage times in your business. My ass has been against the wall 6 times in my business life. I've made business decisions where it nearly cost me everything. But in those moments, in that one moment where my ass was against the wall, that wasn't a defining moment for my entire life. There was plenty left to come. There still is, right? I didn't let those things bother me. you know, because I knew that I could just go and make it again, right? So understand, why are you doing this? Why do you want this really badly? Because if you do, you will get it. You will overcome every obstacle and get it. And here's one last little sage piece I want to share with you, is nobody loves being rejected. Nobody loves it. Nobody likes it. I don't like it. You don't like it. We all hate being rejected. But here's the cool thing about rejection. If you want to do really well, you want to have a lot of rejection. If you want to you want to be successful in this game, you want tons of rejection, tons of it. Because if you're getting tons of rejection, you're getting better at what you're doing, right? You're getting better at communicating. You're getting better at getting into the game. You want to invite it. You want to own it because it'll make you better, right? The only reason somebody rejects you is because they don't have context. You haven't answered a question. And the only question you want to ask is why? Why are you saying no to this plan? I just want to understand. And maybe they're going to ask you to say something where you can actually solve that problem. And it turns that no into, yeah, I think we should do this. I get that now. I understand we should do this, right? Own your business. Be responsible for the result. For you, be your number one customer. You be your number one client first. You know, turn yourself into a case study. I always make a joke of people when they're with our salespeople, and the salespeople, this is what our salespeople, I've shared this joke with them. I said, when somebody asks you, well, how do I know this actually works? Just say to them, how do you think you got here? Right? How do you think you ended up in this appointment if it doesn't work? We want to do this 100 times over for you, 1,000 times over for you. It works. It works, right? So, am I referring to the president? I don't know, Dominic. Malik says, that's my true why. If they can't, why can't it? Yeah, exactly, right? So, what if you actually like doing the work and the clients roll in and you can't give them the quality, you don't deliver? So, Johnny, it's a simple answer. Increase your prices. If you're the one doing the work, you become the most expensive contractor to that client. People are going to pay you 10 grand a month because you're doing the work, right? You cannot leverage without people. You can't scale. What I would do is I would push down. I would hire people like Globotel to do all the work, the bits and piecey work, the stuff that I shouldn't be doing. That's why I'd be hiring a resource partner, right? I would be hiring a resource partner that has teams, that has training, that has support, that has communications, that has quality assurance and control. That's who I work with. Because for me to build that in my business, it's going to cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars when I can just plug a service that's already doing that and leverage their skill sets, right? That's the gold in the market. So understand, if there's a page with an average price for outsourcing, Malik, I would highly encourage you to just go to globotelmarketing.com and reach out and follow their process. I'll share exactly what they do. And so, very quickly, at the end of the day, if you get stuck in the work, your freedom is just charge lots and lots of money. Go and charge 10, 20 grand a month to your client, you'll make lots of money. Or the smart thing to do, if you want to make $1 million and you want to do all the work, go and find a company, partner with that company, do the work and take a piece, and you'll make $1 million working for one company, right? So that's the other way to do it. But you need to leverage yourself. You need people. You cannot build this business without people. You cannot build these people without resource partners and support. Whenever we open up an agency, the very first thing we do is to look for a resource partner to help us out. That's how we scale, because our goal is to get to that 7 figures as quickly as possible. The reason now 7 figures is only a number. It's just a number. It's not the thing, right? Because the margin is what you get to keep. A 7-figure business should be paying you a dividend around $250,000. It should be giving you a personal salary of between $150 and $180, and it should be spending about 10% of that revenue in marketing, and the rest of that is costs. So 30% cost, 70% GP. That's roughly what $1 million business should be giving to you in this business, right? So I'm going to get into the cool stuff right now. This is the stuff that speeds up the cash. Just so I know that you're still awake and you're still with me, just type a 1 in the chat if you want me to walk you through how to pick up some money today. Damien Sorden, it's good to see you. Thank you. I just needed to know that you're still awake and I haven't bored you to tears. Okay, so all right, let's rock and roll. All right. So fast action creates momentum. Number one, you want to make raising cash your number one priority. That's number one, right? You want to make raising revenue for your business your number one priority. If you're not making it your number one priority, you're not going to be in business for very long, right? So 6 cash things that you can do right now to get money in your business today. Number one, collect any outstanding invoices. If you've got an outstanding invoice where a client owes you money right now for a bill, you need to collect that money today. You need to write a message. I wouldn't write a message. I'd get on the phone and say, hey, just wanted to touch base. You've got an invoice here. Can you please take care of that? We've already provided the service. We want to continue providing the service. Is it okay for you to take care of that money today? Go and collect cash today. If you've got an invoice outstanding, go and collect the invoice. One thing that you will learn if you ever get to work with me is I will teach you how to bill in advance, not in arrears. You always get paid in advance. You never invoice anybody anything. As soon as you invoice somebody, they'll delay payment. But number one thing, if you've got an invoice out there anywhere that needs to be collected, go and collect it today because that's money in your bank account immediately, right? Now, number two, agreements and invoices for new clients get paid today. Has anybody got an agreement to be signed or an invoice to be paid? Just type 2 in the chat. Leanne, has anybody got an invoice to be signed or an agreement to be signed or invoice to be paid? How many people? If you've got an agreement to be signed or an invoice to be paid out there, so you've got a verbal yes, but you haven't collected. How many people are doing that so far? We've got a few?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 people put their hands up.
6 people.
Saying yes.
Yeah, so here's the thing. One of the things I'm a big fan of is never letting people control the decision-making process once they've agreed to something. So one thing that you want to do is you want to be prepared. If you're in a sales process, you should have your agreement ready in the pitch, right? At the end of your presentation, you're going to say, great, what do you like about this? I love it. I think we should do it. Great. Here is our agreement. Let me walk you through what we're including in this process. I will sign here. You will sign here. You can do this electronically. DocuSign, Adobe Sign, HelloSign, they're all free, right? They're all free. Oh, well, some of them are free. Some of them are free. But you should be able to sign an agreement on the spot in the sale. If they say yes, great, let's take care of the formality. Let me walk you through our agreement so we can get this thing going, right? Second thing is you should be able to take payment on the spot. If you're using Stripe or PayPal or whatever like that, you say, hey, you got your credit card handy? Let's take the initial installment and get that started now. Once you take the deposit, then send them an invoice. You don't need to send an invoice in advance. You can send an invoice now. There's a cool little product for some people who don't know. It's called PayFunnels, payfunnels.com. It's really cool. I'm not an affiliate, but I have used it. You can literally create an invoice in 10 seconds. And the person gives you their credit card details, gives you their email address, you put in the number, hit send, and they automatically get an invoice from you with your name, your company, everything on it, right? So if you've got an agreement, here's the thing. You need to call. Don't send a message. Do not send an email. You need to pick up the phone. These are people. This is money in your bank account. You need to pick up the phone and say, hey, it was really cool talking the other day. I'd like to schedule a date for you to start in the process that you've agreed to. It's Monday right now. I'm looking at Wednesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Is it okay we start on Wednesday? And by the way, do you mind if we just quickly go through this agreement and get that signed? And do you mind taking care of the initial installment right here? Go and collect the agreement. If you have left an agreement out there for more than a week, that is not a sale. There's only 3 things that can happen in sale. Yes, I'm paying you money now, we're working together. Maybe I need to think about it, right? Yes, verbally, that's I need to think about it, or no. Yes, verbally, and I need to think about it, are a no. It's not a yes. A yes is money in your bank account. That's when you have a sale. You do not have a sale if they haven't given you money. But if you have an agreement and an invoice out there, you need to collect it. Because that's money, that's you helping that client get started. They agreed to something that they saw benefit in. So you need to get back to them. Now, here's how you eliminate this one thing so it'll never happen to you again. If somebody says, I need to think about it, you say, hey, I understand you need to think about it. Do you mind if I very quickly go through a couple of questions so we're really clear about what we put in front of you? Then you go back and say, this is the program. Are you okay with it? Yeah, you got any questions about it? Great. No. This is what we're going to do to make that happen. Are you okay with it? Yes. Great. This is what the investment is. Are you okay with the investment? Yes. Great. What do you think we should do? And they're going to go, I think we should buy. I think we should do this now. There's no need to think about it. And even then, when they say, okay, I don't like to do things on the spot, I like to think about it, that's fine. So what you want to do is say, great, it's 3 o'clock right now. I'm just quickly looking here. I've got a time at 8:30 tomorrow morning, or I've got 11 o'clock in the morning. Which of these 2 times suits you best? And they go 11 o'clock. Okay, great. I'm going to send you an email. I'm going to send you a message to block time right now. Can you open your email and just accept that so that we can lock in that time? And now you've locked in the time for the follow-up. Don't tell people you're going to follow up and I'll get back to you. Don't do that. Set a time on the call and say, absolutely think about it. I'm going to call you at this time. Are you open? Are you free? Great. I'm going to show up. Let's book that appointment. You take control. Second thing, in between you following up or that next call, you're going to send them a reminder of what they said yes to. Hey, you said you like this about our program. You said you want to do this. You said you want to solve this problem with us. I'm super excited about the idea about working with you. We really want to work towards these types of results that you said that you actually wanted. So looking forward to getting going tomorrow. Be optimistic and positive about it. Send that email out before you get to the call. You get to the call and say, hey, tell me what you liked about what we did. You don't say, are you going to go ahead? Tell me what you liked about what we talked about yesterday. Tell me why that's going to have an impact on your business. Tell me why you want to do this. And they say, we want to do this, da, da, da. So great. What do you think we should do now? And they're going to start and sign. No more than 24 hours to 72 hours. Never follow up. After 72 hours, after 48 hours, most people have forgotten 90% of what you told them. That means you have to go back and you have to resell them on what you do. You have to remind them, right? On day 3, in a few weeks' time when we do this presentation, I'm going to show you how to close deals on the spot. I'm going to literally give you the questions, the process, the structure on how you help a client buy. And you're not going to actually do the closing, they are. You're not going to close the deal, they're going to close themselves, right? So any pitches that you've made that you need to follow up and close, if not, what's the next logical step? So if there's anything that you've pitched that they haven't made a decision on, right? You want to follow up and say, hey, we talked about this. You said this was important or you wanted to do this. Look, if you really want to do this, I've talked to my team. We can actually schedule an onboarding at this time. Are you interested in going ahead with this project? So that's a third thing you want to do, is to go there and ask. Now, here's the thing. If you've done a pitch 6 months ago, go back to them and say, hey, we spoke 6 months ago. Are you still interested in that thing? Or, hey, we've got something new that might be useful. Are you interested? Go back to deals. I've had people pull out deals that are 12 months old and close deals that they've pitched 12 months ago, purely by saying, hey, how did you going? Are you still interested in this? Hey, by the way, things have changed. I've got something new. All of you who've been pitching and not closing, you have this as an opportunity to generate money, right? Next, come up with an upsell offer of existing clients and reach out to them. Reem, one of the people I work with, had a client, sat down, came up with another offer. It was a $6,000 offer per month for this client. And the client said yes, because it made sense. You can upsell your clients. So let's say you're selling search engine optimization, SEO. Well, why not support that SEO by running an ad campaign? Why not talk to Globotel and say, hey, Globotel, we want to run an ad campaign for this type of client. What kind of a good deal can we make to get them going on adding not just SEO, but adding PPC or Facebook or other services? All of you have an opportunity to upsell a complementary service to what you have with an existing client. If you have an existing client, this is money in the bank quickly, right? Number 5, make a crazy money offer and send it out and follow it up. Hey, right now, my partner has lost their mind. They said they wanted to do a website for $2,000. We can only do this for one person. It's a 4-page site. Who's interested? Let me know. Do a crazy offer to get cash, right? Hey, what if we ran a re-optimization campaign? Normally we charge $1,500 to set that campaign up for email. We're going to be working with 2 people for $500. We'll set up and run a campaign for you. Let me know if you're interested. Make one crazy money offer. Generally, the crazy money offers are at the end of the month. You do it on the 29th of the month. Say, listen, it's the end of the month. I thought I'd do something really stupid. I'm going to give our highest level of service for this one idea. First person in gets it. Send it out to people. I'll guarantee you there'll be people who will say yes. I did this off a stage. I was at a conference where I said to people, go and send the crazy money offer. One guy closed $22,000 worth of sales in 12 hours by crazy money offer. One person closed $1,000 in the first 20 minutes of sending that offer. Another person closed $2,000. Another person closed $9,000. We had 15 people at that event within a 24-hour period who all made cash banked in their bank account by sending out a crazy offer to their list, right? These are 5 things, sorry. I put 6 things. These are 5 things that you can do to generate money right now. The last thing, the 6th thing, which is not on this list, right, is to literally tell somebody you want to work with them. Tell somebody that your idea is to leverage their business through your skills and knowledge, and you have selected them because you believe what you do will crush it for them. Tell somebody that you selected them, that you want to partner with them, right? You'd be interested in the feedback. You'll be interested to see if you do that with people, because people will pay attention if you do that, right? So very quickly, I'm looking at the time. We've got 10 minutes. I am open to speaking a little bit more, but I'm 10 minutes here. So primary income generating activities. These are things that will put money in your bank account, and you want to spend your first hour of the day doing these things. Collecting money, right? Pitch for a deal, make a direct money offer, follow up and ask for money, a live presentation, speaking, anything that drives to a financial opportunity for sales. These are only 5 primary income generating activities, right? Conversations with a prospect or a qualifying call. Qualifying somebody to buy is a primary income generating activity. A conversation with somebody to buy is a primary income generating activity, right? So there are about another 50, but these are the most common ones. Secondary income generating activities, right? Make an appointment, secure an appointment. Make an appointment with somebody, secure an appointment. Crafting an offer and sending it. Phone calls for follow-ups and introductions. Lead generation, that should be lead generation activities, right? List building, social media engagement, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, whatever you do. Promoting a webinar is a secondary income generating activity because it leads to the income. Doing discovery sessions, right? Doing actually fact-finding discovery with a prospective clients is a secondary income generating activity. Preparing a pitch deck or a proposal is secondary, right? These are time-wasting strategies, right? Scanning social media is wasting time. Checking emails is wasting time. Opting into other people's funnels and downloading their lead magnets, and for you never to open up the lead magnet or watch the video is wasting time. Watching YouTube, TikTok videos during the day. Learning something new not related to your work during the daytime hours. Having more than 3 coffee breaks per day. If you have more than 3 coffee breaks per day, you're wasting an hour a day on coffee, right? Watching Netflix during productive work time. I know you're out there. Stepping out in the day to distract yourself from work. Procrastinating habits. Oh, I've got to do this. I've got to shift my desk around. I've got to do all these sorts of things, right? Organizing your work environment, tidying up, shifting desks is time wasting, right? Checking out software and learning new software is time wasting. I'm going to sit down and learn how to use HubSpot. I'm going to sit down and learn how to use Pipedrive. Do that when you're watching Game of Thrones. Don't do that in work time. In work time, in the time of the day, you should be actively pursuing conversations. That's what you want to do. So here's the thing. Go back to your calendar, time assessment, and put $signs next to your income generating activity. Put a single $sign next to a secondary, and put a TW in a time wasting, and see how much time you waste on your activity, right? Simple thing. So manage your priorities. Live in your calendar, not in your inbox. I do not have my email open on my inbox ever. It's not on. I only need to check my emails twice a day. And by the way, I don't check my emails. My team checks my emails for me, right? Leverage team, yeah? So calendar, if you've got white spaces in your calendar, guess what you got to do? Fill them up with prospects, right? Live in your calendar, not in your inbox, right? Work in your CRM. If you're not using a CRM, you should be using a CRM. Go high level, Pipedrive, HubSpot, whatever you're using, you should be using a CRM to manage your clients, and you want to be in there because that's where your prospects are. You want to be in your CRM. If you're in your CRM, guess what? You're going to be making money, right? Book time for one most important thing to do. Book time in your calendar. And to me, the most important thing you need to do is at least spend 1 hour a day doing a primary income generating activity in your business. Just 1 hour. The rest of the time, you can go watch Netflix, you can go and watch funnels, you can do whatever you want. But 1 hour a day on a primary income generating activity, you're going to make money, right? You need to block time for one of the most important things, one thing. So there's this cool strategy. I don't know who invented it, but I'd like to credit Timebox for inventing it. It's not new. It's a productivity thing. We do this in our coaching, and we get people accountable to getting tasks done. So you'll see on the right-hand side, there's a thing called a brain dump. What you do in the brain dump section is you write down all the to-dos that you're going to do, everything. Your hand doesn't leave the paper until you finish the brain dump, right? So that means it's getting out all the stuff you think you need to do out of your head. So now you don't need to think about it. It's in front of you. Then what you want to do is you want to pick 3 things only, 1, 2, 3. 1 primary income generating activity, and 2 other important things that will make an impact on your business. 1, 2, 3 only. The brain dump, you forget about. You're only doing 3 things. You take those 3 things and you allocate a time to them in your calendar today. So now you're going to show up for the appointment to do those 3 things. Do this every day. It takes roughly 2 to 3 minutes to do this every day. Do this every day. You'll always be generating income. You'll always be focused on doing things that are important. You'll always be supporting the thing you aspire to build. The brain dumping thing, you don't add to the list the brain dump the next day. You start with a blank page the next day. So you brain dump again, because often things you're brain dumping about don't become important anymore because you're moving on. So this is purely to get your brain clear and out of the rubbish and focused on the things that you need to do, right? So focus every day for 30 days. Focus every day for 30 days. After you've exhausted your primary income generating activities, then select one secondary income generating activity, and then you'll get to your sales opportunities a lot faster, right? And then what you want to do is you want to look at your plans and assess your progress as part of this process. I say to people, there's only 2 things you need to do: make appointments and do presentations. They're the 2 most important things that you need in your business right now. If you are not doing any of those 2 things on a consistent daily basis, then you're not in business. It's going to be hard to do well, right? So what you focus on becomes your reality. Now, if you're brave enough to answer this, how many appointments have you had in the last 4 weeks in your calendar? How many appointments have you set? Just type in the chat. How many appointments for presentations for people to buy from you have you had in the last 4 weeks? By the way, if you have to look for this number, you've got a problem. You should know this number, right? So just type in. Can you read out the numbers? I can't see them, Leanne.
So we've got 0, we've got 6, 4, 0, 0, 2, 1, 5, 0, 2.
Yeah. So I don't want you to answer this question, but I want you to think about it based on all the appointments you've got. How many direct offers did you make in the last 4 weeks for people to spend money with you? Don't write the answer, think about it. Because if you've got 0, it's pretty hard to grow your business. If you've got 6, you might have closed 1 or 2 of those 6. If you've got 4, you might have closed 1, right? So in a month, you might have brought 1 or 2 clients on board in your business, which is okay. That's better than 0. But understand that this is where you make an impact on your business, is what you're focusing on, right? How many clients did you onboard in the last 4 weeks? Don't answer the question to me. Write that number down. If you are absolutely delighted and happy with that number, then congratulations. But if you're not happy with that number, look at the numbers above, and that's why you're not banking. What most people are paying attention to are on things that are not making a difference to their business. That's the thing. So make a commitment to yourself that you're going to bring on 1 new client by the end of the week. Right? So we've got a week, Thursday to Thursday. We're going to be here next week together, right? Next week, we're going to talk about offers and engagement and all that sort of thing, and we're going to leverage that. But between now and then, can I say, and I'd like you to type this in the chat, right? So I want you to verbalize this, not to me, to yourself. Like, say it out loud. I don't want to hear you. I'm committed to bringing on 1 client on board by next Thursday, and then type YES in capitals in the chat. Say, I'm committed to bring on 1 brand new client by next Thursday, and then type yes in the chat. I am committed to bringing on 1 client on board by next Thursday, and then type yes as your commitment to that. Because I've given you a whole bunch of stuff, and you're going to get a whole bunch of other stuff from me over the next few days. They're going to help you do that, right? So the reason why I'm asking you to do this is because you're a business owner and this is what you want, right? You want paying customers. So you want to be out. And by the way, some of you might get a paying customer. If you've applied some of these strategies, some of you might get a paying customer within the next 5 hours, the next 24 hours, the next 72 hours. I've had people get customers within an hour, right, of doing some of this stuff. So anything's possible, but open the door. Your number one priority is to think about who you want to help today. That's your number one priority. And then reach out to that person and ask them, can you help them? That's all you got to do, right? There's not being aggressive or salesy. You're just helping people out. So, hey, I'm helping people do this cool thing. Are you interested in getting some help? If you want to bring on a new client, you need to do, what do you need to do to achieve that? Remember the sales plan you've got, what you got to do to reach out, okay? What offer? So roadblocks that people have, if you don't have an offer, you have an offer now. If you don't, just offer something that Globotel offers to your clients. You got an easy offer, right? Lead problem. If you've got a lead problem, well, you shouldn't have a lead problem. I just showed you how to get a whole bunch of people. Who to talk to problem. Well, if you're using the leads, the people you want to speak to are people who are running the business, decision makers only, right? They're very identifiable, very easy to connect with. Don't talk to somebody who can't spend money with you. You're wasting your time. You only want to be speaking to people who are able to make a decision to invest. So it's really easy. If you ever get on the phone with a prospect, ask them, so how long have you run the company? How long have you owned it? And they will tell you, I've owned it or I've run it for a number of years. They will say, oh, it's not my company. I work for the, okay. So maybe we need to talk to the person who's running the company, right? Ask them direct. So how long have you been running this? How long have you owned this company? And they'll go, oh, they'll tell you, right? Or they'll say, oh, I've got a partner, or I've got a managing director, or say, great, you need to get the managing director into the business, right? Outreach problem, well, it's not really hard. Sending messages is pretty easy. So there shouldn't really be a problem for outreaching. The only reason outreach is a problem is you're not outreaching, right? That's the problem, is you're just not doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing. And the sales conversion problem, here's how you solve the sales conversion problem. Just talk to people, listen to them about what they're doing, what is important to them. And then what you're going to do is you're going to share how you help them. You're just helping people out. You're not convincing people of anything. You're not manipulating people. You are actually genuinely trying to help people with what you do. And what you do is super, super powerful as a business owner. What you do is very valuable. So I'm going to stop right there. Look at that, right on time. Steve, if you want, I'm happy to hang for a moment to answer questions directly if people have questions. I'm happy to be here. Yeah. I've got a few minutes to do that. So if you've got a question, either unmute and ask, or make sure you just type it in the chat.
Yeah, I think, corporate guys, if you do have any questions, let's get them into the chat, please, and run it by John. John, I see one already there from Johnny, talking about the question around decision makers. What if the decision makers are agencies making brands? So obviously running into that thing on the side.
I'm trying to. I didn't quite hear you with that. What you said there, Steve. So
sorry. Can you hear me? Is that
Johnny's,
better?
Johnny's asking how
what if the decision makers are agencies repping brands?
Well, then they're the people that spend money. I don't understand the question. What if they are?
That's a bit of a stranger, Johnny. Maybe you can
they're your customer. If they're the decision maker making the decision, then they're the people that are going to buy what you have to offer, Johnny. You've got the decision maker. If you've got the agency that's deciding on repping the brands, that's your decision maker. That's who's spending money with you. If that's
hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, go for it, Johnny.
Sorry for the misclarity on that. So we're going to run into a lot of problems where brands want to work with a client or talent I manage, and we pitch them an idea. The offer's great. It's just a hole in one, and then they kind of just come back to me. They say, "Oh, we're dealing with a client. We'll get back to you soon." And so I get a lot of that, like just nothingness.
Okay, so it's really easy to solve that problem, Johnny. Are you going to do this or not going to do this? Like, why do you want to ask them, why do you want to do this? And why do you want to take our mechanism or the talent that we've got or whatever the thing that you're offering? Tell me why you want to do this. Tell me why you want to work with this person. Tell me why you want to use our leverage to leverage your brand, right? So we've got a plan. This is the process we go through, and this is our plan. So if they've got to go away and decide right, then there's missing context for you. You need to take control of the sales process. So what I'd be asking is, I'd be flipping it. I'd be sitting saying, look, here's why we're talking. We've got the resource to get the result and the outcome. My question to you is, you want to leverage your opportunity to get the best bang for buck. We've got the right resource to make that happen. Tell me why you want to do this with us. Put it back on them. And then go through and ask the question, say, okay, so what's your idea about this? Why are we talking about this? Great. So this is the plan moving forward. Yes. And now, if they have to think about it or have to defer, then you have to be very clear about what it is they're making decisions on. If that's your sales process where they have to defer, that's a really sucky sales scenario. I would be more in control with, well, tell me why you're going to do this. Tell me why we need to do this right now. Tell me how you're going to use our resources, and we can leverage your opportunity with our resources. Does that make sense, Johnny?
Yeah, 100%. Thanks so much.
That's how I would crush it.
You're amazing, by the way. You're like really, really amazing. So just keep it up. I'm looking forward to the other ones too.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Damien,
yes, just running back up about 5 minutes ago. So Roy had a question around a bit of an opportunity that he's got with the technology company. Roy, I've just read through it. I think it's probably a good opportunity for you to chat directly with John on that, because you've got 5 options. Obviously, it sounds pretty personal to your situation itself. So maybe you want to reach out to John straight after. You can just maybe get some guidance from him. It's Aglay, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Ask for some advice on niche to select. LASIK doctors, should I focus on social media leads or back pain management doctors? I don't know what the best offer would be for them, lead gen or SEO. Your thoughts?
Okay. I'll answer Aglia's question. If Roy wants to jump in, just give me a moment, Roy, and I'll answer your question. Because Roy, I have a very simple answer to your question. Cool. Aglia, pick the niche that you're familiar with. Don't pick a niche that you're not familiar with. Pick a niche that you understand and that you know. Don't pick niches that you don't know, because you have to learn them. That's not to say that you shouldn't pick niches that you don't know. You have to understand the thing that you want to with niches. You want to understand their business. So I would go to my experience. If I were you and you're kind of just getting going, think about what your own personal experience is in work, in relationships. Maybe you know somebody's worked in a certain environment they've been sharing with you. Always go to familiarity first. Then what I do is, how do they make money with what I do? How are they doing this right now? Very quickly, so you can figure out what you're going to create for the offer. Then I would look at offers that are already out in the market for what you do. It's very easy. There's this little website that's hidden called Google, right? And then you find out what the offers are. And then you go, great, I want to help companies create leveraged offers doing this. That is your opening. That is your thing. My first thing, and this is, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. It's Aglia. Is it Aglia?
Aglaé. That's okay.
Sorry?
Aglaé.
Aglaé. Okay, Aglaé. Here's the down and dirty, sneaky thing to do. And it's not very sneaky, right? Go to your social media groups and go, does anybody know anybody that runs, I'm looking for somebody who's really good in this business, that runs this business, right? Who's got a really good physiotherapist, who's got a really good chiropractor, who's got a really good person that can help you. Now, if somebody in your social connections is going to say, oh, you need to speak to Dr. Bob or Dr. Mary or Dr. Sue. And so now you're going to reach out to Dr. Bob and Dr. Mary, Dr. Sue, and said, I was asking this question of who the best person is who runs a practice. And this person said you were the best person. So I just wanted to touch base. Is it worthwhile us just having a little conversation? Because I help people leverage and scale, and this person recommended that you're the right type of business I should be talking to. So now you have a referral and recommendation by the general public, but you're using somebody else's name to do that. I have one of the people I work with, Xavier, who runs email marketing for e-commerce businesses. He uses Klaviyo, and what I said to him, I said, go to ClickFunnels and ask in ClickFunnels, who do you know is running the most successful e-commerce business using ClickFunnels? Now there's 150,000 people in ClickFunnels, and there were 60 names that were given to him. So these 60 names are all running multi-million-dollar e-commerce businesses. He does email marketing for e-commerce businesses. So now he had 60 leads to go to. And people say, hey, I was talking to Mary, said that you are running the most amazing e-com business, said that you're the person I should be touching base with. And they generally go, who's Mary? Oh, Mary recommended you in ClickFunnels. Oh, okay, you open up the conversation. Now you're talking to people through recommendation. It's sneaky, but it's true, right? You need to get to the conversation, right? And so Xavier built a email marketing agency, 50 grand a month in recurring revenue in less than 6 weeks, just doing that one thing, asking who's the best that you would recommend that I talk to, and they would just list who's the best, and away you go. Always go to your experience first. If you've got to figure it out in a new market, that means that you're going to have a disconnect in domain knowledge. So pick businesses that you have some familiarity with. That's where I would start first. And generally, friends, family, and associates, if you don't know somebody personally, will introduce you to that client. Okay? So, Roy.
Yeah,
Roy. Hey, Roy.
Yes,
Roy.
hi. I came actually late, and so this is kind of my first opportunity. My agency was primarily small business focused, and recently, in fact, I heard something from you, and I immediately directed my agency towards what I know most. Having spent 40 years in healthcare, I know the pain points and the desires. So I'm leveraging all this in the health technology. And here's a health technology where I came on to the company as an agent to sell their device. Each sale is $20,000, but there are also 4 additional opportunities for monetizing. I mean, it's very clear that I need to start making sales, and then other parts will fall into place.
All right, I'm going to answer your question really easily, Roy. The answer to your question, to all 4 questions you've asked, is yes. That's the answer to your question. Just do that. I would probably pick one of those 4 things and run with it and generate the revenue. Whatever's going to bring you bang buck fast, I would do that one thing first. So of these 4 things, which you believe you'll get the impact on, do that first. The other opportunities, then you can open up that once you're generating revenue with the one that you choose. So you can't do everything and you can't do all. Pick one thing and do that. All of these things can work. Like I'm saying yes to all 4 things, but of the 4 things, Roy, you pick one. Pick one that you're confident with and lead with that. That's your answer.
And that is the first one, which is essentially sell the device, get $20,000 for each sale.
Your question's been answered. You've got clarity. That's the way to go. Right.
All right. Thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody else got a question they'd like to ask me? I'm happy to answer one more question, and then I'm going to hand it over to Steve and Leanne and Damien, who've been here patiently listening to me gabble on for 9 minutes. Any questions? I'll take one question. I'll answer your question. Oh, wow. Okay. I've obviously overwhelmed. My primary experience is in the notary industry. It's no good looking to find. So it is. So Malik, here's what I would recommend, right? If you can't find a vein in the notary industry, what are adjacent businesses sideways that are similar to that industry, and then how do they do what they do? I would pick that. If you feel that the notary industry is not the industry, or you're not really, you don't think that that's a really monetizable industry, right? Then what I would do is what is adjacent, what is similar to that may be more optimistic, because if they're adjacent, then they're going to operate at a similar level, right? Operate at a similar level. So I want to thank you all for being here. This is a lot. I know there's a bit of a fire hose. I'm going to take this recording and place it in the Facebook group. If you've requested to join that Facebook group, please do so, because that's where the video is going to go. Over the next 5 days, I'm going to provide Globotel with messaging and emails to send out on a daily basis to give you instructions of what you need to be doing to move forward. Your goal and your objective is to get 1 or more paying customers by next Thursday. 1 or more paying customers by next Thursday. Next Thursday, what we're going to be talking about is the engagement, the outreach, the offers and structures. I'm going to be giving you some of that. I've actually created a PPC intro offer, a Facebook ad intro offer, email marketing intro offer, a LinkedIn intro offer, and a website intro offer. I've created these 5 things. You need to edit them and suit yourself. But these are things I've actually, by the way, these are written by me, right? They weren't like I actually put these together with you in mind, right? If you're offering service. So I've put these together. I'm going to place this document in the Facebook group. I'm going to email Globotel with that document, and they can send that out to people so they can leverage the offers. So the key thing here, if you invested 1 hour a day on what I'm talking about here, I'll guarantee you're going to generate revenue, you're going to generate opportunities. If you find yourself getting stuck, don't think, I don't know. Figure it out. Figure it out. You know, you're not stupid. Figure it out. There's somebody that's going to be in the group that might be able to answer your question. There's something you can Google to figure it out. Everything is figure outable. When you're dealing with a problem, you're not dealing with the problem of itself. What you're dealing with is the reason for that problem. If you say, I've got not enough appointments, it means that you're not focusing on generating appointments. If you focus on generating appointments and you're converting appointments, it means that there is something in your process that isn't enabling you to generate the appointment. So you need to work on that piece. If the appointments you're setting are not qualified, then you need to think about who you really want to make appointments with and focus on the reason. Don't focus on the problem. Everything is fixable. Everything is doable. It's just one little piece at a time as part of that. So I'm going to say one thing to you. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. You deserve it. You're in business. You're here to help people out. Help as many people as you can. Or more importantly, let as many people as you can know that you can help people out with what you do. I will guarantee you that all of you will generate clients in the next week if you do that. And if you do that every day, game changer for everybody. Thanks for hanging with me. I appreciate all of you. If you need anything, you'll know where to catch me. I'll be keeping an eye on the Facebook group. Steve, Leanne, Damien, thank you for opening the opportunity to do this. I really appreciate all of you. And next week, we're going to have a whole bunch more new faces, along with these people, attending this event as well.
Awesome. Yeah, John, thank you so much. And just a quick shout out to Damien, who is here. He's our CEO, obviously, of Global. Damien, I don't know if you want to just say a few words quickly and just introduce yourself.
Yes, hello everyone. I've been here in the background a while, but just a huge thanks to John too. I see a lot of people saying thanks there as they're leaving, but mate, you've been a big, obviously a big champion of the digital agency space for a long time now, and certainly over the last 4 or 5 years, great support to the digital agencies in our network. So great to be working with you again in this. And I think we're both in Dallas at the end of this month, so hopefully we can catch up then. But yeah, massive thanks for your time over the next 3 weeks, and great to see the value flowing as always.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of familiar faces here, a lot of friends, and we've got some new people here, which is really cool. We're going to have a whole bunch of new people here next week as well to join you. So appreciate all of you hopping onto this. Take care, guys. Let's rock and roll.
Thanks, John. Great, guys. Have a good week.
You're welcome.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, John.